Hello and welcome back to the Morning Dew. This is the Hotspot segment with me, Kelvin, Mungai, and this is where we basically get to look at what is happening in the country politically. Now, to be able to do this today, I am joined by Bwana Nathan Kuria, who is running for the MCA position in Thika Township ward, standing with Sabina Party. I would say that is kind of like going against the grain, because a lot of people in Mount Kenya region especially are either going with Jubilee or the UDA. So we'll be getting into why you wanted to go into Sabina Party a little later on. But for now, I think I want us to start not so much with what is happening politically on the national scale, but rather a bit of the youth in leadership. So you being a young person, what would you say is the role of the youth in leadership?
Thank you so much, Kelvin, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, happy to host you.
Okay, thank you. Now, when you talk about the role of youth in leadership, remember that the youth are the majority in this country. Out of a population of about 50 million Kenyans, over 70% are the youth. And therefore, they have a very big role in leadership. Some of the roles will include that when you include the youth in leadership, they are able to grow themselves, they are able to realize the potential that they have, they are also able to discover the various talents that they have. It also gives them an opportunity to serve others, and also to build confidence in themselves, so that they are able to assist the community in realizing the opportunities that are there within the community, and also to solve the challenges that are there. It is very important that the youth are involved in leadership, so that they can grow themselves and they can see they grow themselves and they see the opportunities that are there and they serve others.
Yeah. Now, there are some people countrywide, especially when it comes to the field of politics, who say that the youth cannot be entrusted with leadership because they lack the necessary experience to, hold such positions in the country. What would you say to people who have that kind of mentality?
Just tell them to reconsider their position, because they are youth that have been given responsibility, including nationally, and they have performed very well. We have various examples. For example, the Senator of Nairobi, that's Johnson Sakaja. He was elected when he was very young in that youthful bracket, and to me, I think he is a leader who has done something for our country. They are performing their duties, and they are doing well, and they are representing the youth well. And again, when we say that the youth are not experienced to hold leadership positions, I think that is a blanket feeling that you just bracket in that group. But there are youths who are doing very well. Examples are very many, and they have done us proud, and they are leaders who are focused. I should realize that those who have been given opportunity to serve, they are doing their work. This time around, they're even going for higher positions. So because they have been experienced and they were given an opportunity. So what I can tell such people is that they just give the youth the opportunity. Maybe their doubt will be on whether it is all youth who can perform. And actually, not all youth have that leadership capability. Maybe they just begin, they identify that youth who have the potential to lead, and they nurture them, and then things will be okay. They give the youth an opportunity. But actually, the youth are very experienced. Myself being an example, previously I've held leadership positions from college, from high school, and we performed. So we are good, we are experienced. So youths are there, and they are very experienced, and they can perform given an opportunity.
Yes, and talking about leadership roles that are held in institutions of learning, because I think that is our first experience as young people growing up. That will be our first experience with leadership. What would you say is the way that these leadership roles in these institutions shape leaders in the community? Is it, do people who have held leadership positions in their institutions of learning make better community leaders than those who did not, or is there no correlation between the two?
Well, what I would say is that generally, a general feeling is that those leaders who have held or the youth who have held a leadership position previously, they are in a better position because they are more exposed. But we are not saying that you deny the others who are coming for the first time to lead. But with statistics, we realize that most of the leaders, even the current one that we have, they previously held leadership positions when they were in college. I'll give an example of the minority leader that's in the Senate. That's Senator Orengo. When you look at another leader, Senator Irongo Kangata here from Muranga, they were leaders even when they were in college. So you realize that they will just, they have, when you are given that opportunity in college, in institutions of learning, you are able to grow yourself and you are more exposed. Because remember, there you are nurtured, you know how to represent people, you know how to solve their challenges. So if previously you have you held a leadership position in institutions of learning, you are in a better position to address the issues affecting the youth and also to lead even in the community. But that one doesn't mean that to deny the upcoming leaders who have not held a leadership position previously, because even the ones that we have, even they were given an opportunity. They were not leaders previously. It is only that they were given an opportunity. So we should just give everyone a chance. But it is also good to consider those who have held positions previously, as we nurture others, because even those ones who are there, your time will come and they will not be there. So we need to nurture others so that we build an institution of growing young leaders, so that even if you were to leave abruptly, they will not have a vacuum, such that you are growing others as you are progressing. As you are nurturing youth leader, we have those ones who are serving, so that the ones who are behind can take up the positions later.
Well, how do you sway masses, especially in the political field? Because that is one thing that has been puzzling myself and other people. Is it the charisma or is it theatrics?
I think I would say it's both. You need to have that energy to pull that crowd. And as a young leader, of course, you have that challenge. But given an opportunity, the energy should also be there. Because it's not easy to sway in politics. But you have to be strong, because you see, for these leadership positions will not just come. You have to be very bold, and to ignore the negative comments that come with you being a young person. Because being a young person comes with some challenges, which you need to be smart to know how to tackle them. Otherwise, if you don't have that charisma and the energy, you just miss it, and you'll be left out.
Well, that is true. Let's talk a bit about challenges. What are the challenges that you face, and other leaders, I'm sure, as you talk to them, other young people who are in leadership? What challenges are you facing in the pursuit of your political ambitions?
The challenges are very many, including that the moment you venture into leadership as a young person, you are from there you are being judged, and comments will be made there just because you are new. You will be compared with other youth who have been given positions previously, and maybe they did not perform to the expectations of the society. Therefore, you realize that immediately you venture into leadership, you're not considered as a senior citizen. You just be judged there and then. But surprisingly, you're not. You see, even in like the government we are having, there are challenges with some leaders who have been given some roles to play. But when they fail, they are not judged because they are you. They are not you, so you realize that they are just judged. But if they were you, it would be very harsh for them. Therefore, some of the challenges that you are judged there and then because you are you. And that is why you realize that even the youth are a special category with the women. Because the challenges that they face, you realize that even with the nominations that we are heading with the party, the youth are given a special priority. Why? Because even the government is aware that the youth face the biggest challenge, especially when they want to venture into leadership positions. So some of the challenges that will be the first one, that is you are judged from there and then, and it's mostly they are negative comments. You'll be judged again. You'll be judged with your finances. So that's another challenge that we are facing. Finances, of course, you realize that the youth, most of them actually they are not in a position to even do a very vibrant campaign because of the finances. Remember, you can't compare a youth who have just left college with a person who has been working for some years. They're in a better position to do the campaigns. So you are challenged in terms of resources. And for you to campaign, like in our world, it is a very vast world with very many voters. And when maybe you are campaigning there, you need to produce posters, you need to have your team, you need to have the logistics, the necessary logistics to ensure that you do a very vibrant campaign. You can't compare that one with those who have been there, because I think they have worked even for some years. For us youth, we have not been working for that long. But with the time we'll be there. So the challenge of finances is there, but we will still make it. Again, another challenge that we're facing is the perception that maybe if we give this young person a chance, he may end up failing us or concentrate on other things, not what we will send him to do. They think that the youth can be easily carried away. We elect them, and then instead of going to do what they are just doing like that, it's like the youth are still exploring. So you give them this chance, and then they go and concentrate with others. We want to tell them that they are youths who are very focused, and they are ready to serve and take our communities to the next level.
Yes, and talking about the government and the youth, the Jubilee-led administration has in the past 2 terms put in place several measures to support the youth and the women and also the people living with disabilities. Are you satisfied with what the government has done so far in support of young people?
Well, I can commend the government, the Jubilee government. It has really tried to include the youth in supporting them to see, because the youth are the majority. When we say that the 70% of our population is made up of youth, it is true. The goods that we produce, they'll be consumed by this generation. So you realize that the government had to do deliberate efforts to support them, to come up with initiatives that are beneficial to our youth. But to me, I still feel it is not what the government has done. It is not enough, because the youth are still facing the challenges that they have been facing. The efforts that are made, they are not very impactful. they have assisted in some areas, but these challenges are still there. The issue of unemployment, the issue of not including the youth in making decisions, that the government is just coming and making decisions but, without involving the youth. So at the end of the day, you realize that the efforts that are made are not very impactful. And that is why we are coming in as youth and to woo our youth. We tell them that now since the government is not doing much, and we have been here and we have seen those challenges, we have been at the community level, we see the challenges that we are having. That is the issue of unemployment, the issue of crime, because the youth, if they are not engaged, even the English people say that if your mind is not occupied, you are likely to engage in other activities which are not beneficial to you. So you realize that that is why we are now coming in and telling the youth that we are the solution. We are the solution. We are the one who know exactly what you are facing. Because myself as a youth, I have been quite unemployed for some time. And therefore, when we are coming to these leadership positions, we are coming because we have experienced. We are coming with experience. So when you are coming to tell me about that challenge that you are having, I have already experienced it, and I am in your position. Therefore, you can trust me that when I go there, I'll come up with measures and come up with the legislation and come up with ideas that can be impactful to you, so that we work together. So I can just say that the government has done something, but we still it is not. I still feel personally that it is not enough. We can do better. So that is why we are coming in to try and bring ideas that can be very impactful to our youth, so that we move forward and we see that we are moving at a pace that the pace that we move in, that we can address the challenges facing the youth at a very higher speed than the speed at which we are moving at for now.
And when you say that what the government has done is not enough, what more will you want the government to do?
Like when you come to the issue of youth enterprise development fund, we can increase that amount. The amount is not enough. When you come to the issue of even the allocation that is given to the CBA, then we can do it that one. We can do measures that will ensure that, like now, the government, our dear president said that the government was losing about 2 billion per day for corruption. We can come up with legislation, and we can come up with ways to make sure that we are not losing that amount. That is a very huge amount that can be channeled to such initiatives like the Youth Enterprise Development Fund, so that it can be impactful to our youth. Therefore, I feel that we have ideas that can help our youth. We can increase that instead of losing that amount that we are losing every day. We can increase the allocation that goes to the CBF, because remember, even on the CBF, it is that amount that the majority of those who benefit, especially from like bursaries, the youth. So if we give them bursaries, we'll be able to have more youth getting trainings, getting funding to school, so that they can get even the technical skills that they have, so that they can come up with ways of employing themselves or securing unemployment, because they will be learning, they will have the skills to employ themselves or even and create opportunities for others. Therefore, I think there is much that we can learn from there. There is a lot that we can learn from the challenges that the youth are facing, and we improve from there. We can do more, and the government can do deliberate efforts to see that we have something for them.
Now, since the devolving of the government and the system of governance, there have been certain positions that have been open to the youth of the country. And we have seen a lot of young people come in to fill in these positions. So how would you say that the youth are shaping the face of politics since devolution?
It's true. They are, since the coming in of devolved governments from the new constitution that we promulgated in 2010, we have seen that the youth are really shaping the politics of Kenya. We have seen youthful governors being elected. We have seen youthful senators and MPs being elected, and they are now shaping how we are. I think they are even coming up with legislation that is impactful to the youth. And even we are seeing that the youth are actively involved in because you see, you cannot ignore the youth. If you ignore the youth, you end up in a very difficult situation. And that's why the government realized that they have to do deliberate efforts to look into the issues that are affecting the youth. Yes, the youth have been given various, including various dockets in devolved governments. We have seen the youth being appointed CECs in various counties. We have seen them leading in various committees in the devolved units. And at least now they are shaping this. They are shaping the politics such that anything that the county governments are passing, the devolved governments are planning, they have to involve the youth. They have to do deliberate efforts to involve the youth. I said previously that any good that we are producing here, most of the goods that we are importing, they are coming to be consumed by these groups. They are the majority. They are over 70%. So this is a group that you cannot ignore, and therefore even the youth now have realized that it is, you are being told that we are the youth, that our time is coming. But now that time has come. That is why you are seeing that the youth are coming out in numbers to even compete with the heavyweights. I'll call them heavyweights because they have been there, and we are there, and we will not be left out. We must come out and contest for these positions, because we know the influence that comes with having these positions, because you'll be on the table, you'll be discussing issues that are affecting the youth, and you must be there. You must be there, because if you are left out of the table, then it will be difficult to deal with the challenges that are affecting the youth. We need to have the youth on the discussion table so that we move forward.
Now, what do you think can be done by the government and by the society to encourage more young people to venture into leadership roles, such as the one that you are contesting for?
The government can come up with various ways of ensuring that the youth are actively involved in politics and even in leadership. For example, they can do deliberate efforts. Like now I was saying, when you come to the issue of like the fund that I was talking about, that the youth development fund, you realize that at the end of the day, you are told as you that you need to come together as a group so that you can benefit. I think the government can consider each youth individually. The way when you walk into a bank, you are judged individually. You are not judged as a group. Because even sometimes we say that they used to have various talents. Then how comes then we want to put, when we are coming up with ideas to help our youth, we want to put them together. Let us first realize that these youth have different ability. So the government can do deliberate efforts to ensure that they are addressing the challenges of the youth as a group, and again individually. We have seen that there are individual youths who have come up with very good innovations, which have went global. And so I think we the government can do deliberate efforts, including even the way we are now going for the primaries. Instead of even giving the youth that well, the parties have done well. They have most of the parties have given a waiver, or they are giving they are asking the youth to pay like half of the nominations fee. But I think the government can do better and even do away with that nomination. They can encourage, they can nurture youth, and then they encourage them that as long as we have identified you and you have that potential to lead, we can give you a waiver of that amount so that we have more youth joining. Again, when it comes to even funding for these youth, the government can come up with ways of ensuring that they have nurtured these youth. For example, in our ward, we are about actually almost half of us who are contesting there are youth. I wish the government could have done a deliberate effort to ensure that they have already called that through the various mechanisms that the government has, so that they can nurture us, so that we are also enlightened when we come to these elections, that we can be trained. And this is, I wish it could happen countrywide, so that we prepare our youth to lead. Because you realize that if we are given that opportunity, if we are given that exposure, to be very beneficial to the youth. And again, it is a way of, you see, these youth who are coming out to contest for these seats, most of them have experiences and have past experiences. And if we nurture them, these are the leaders that will take our country to the next level. So I would just ask the government to continue to do more effort to ensure that they support the youth. Yeah, because we have to support our youth. They are not in a position to wrestle with the senior citizens.
Indeed. Now we do have to take a short break on Nathan. But when we come back, we will be grilling him on why Sabina Party and what party politics plays, the role that party politics plays in the selection of a leader, especially in Mount Kenya. Do stay tuned for that. It is continuing after this short commercial. Welcome back to the Hotspot segment of the Morning Dew. My name is Kelvin Mungai, and I am joined today on set by Bwana Nathan Kuria, who is running for the MCA position of Thika Township. Now, before we get into looking at you and getting to know why you chose the MCA position and why the Sabina Party, as opposed to the more popular parties such as UDA and Jubilee, just one more question. As a young person running for an elective position in the August 9th general elections, what do you have to say to those who are currently in power and those who are looking to take up the reins of power come the general elections?
Thank you so much. Now, what I would tell those who are currently in power and those who are coming to take the positions on 9:30, that they need to do deliberate efforts and to ensure that we assist our youth. We need to make sure that our country is moving at a pace that is okay with all of us. Sometimes back we were at par with countries like Malaysia, so we need to make sure that we are moving with that. But the challenges are still there facing our youth. The issue of unemployment, the issue of the youth not getting opportunities to grow themselves. We'll just ask them to come up with ways, to come up with ideas of us youth, so that our country can grow, and so that we can get the best. We can tap from the potential that our youth have to grow our economy and to improve the lives of Kenyans. So I would just ask the current government, because they are still in power, that it is not too late. Let us not just concentrate with elections. Let us continue doing deliberate efforts to improve the lives of our people and to empower our youth, so that we move forward together. Those coming to power in come August, I ask them to be committed. It is very important that we be very much committed. We work. We go there to serve, not to have any other agendas, because we need a just society whereby every Kenyan, every young people, whether they are born in this geographical location or that one, a child born in Mandera, a child born in Central, a child born in Coast, a child born in Kisumu, that all of them have equal opportunities to realize their maximum potential, because we expect a government that cares for everyone, a government that is sensitive, a government that wants to see that our people are doing well, and that is I think that is the basic reason why we should have a government that supports the people to realize their full potential, so that we are not left out when the world is moving, that even Kenya, we are there, and we are seen, not just being there. Kenya is known to do very well even internationally. We want to compete with others, and so that all of us have opportunities, so that in the near future, the way people prefer moving to other countries in search of greener pastures, we create opportunities for our people, so that in the near future, even others can be coming here to look for greener pastures, because we will have made the lives of our people comfortable and move in the right direction as a country.
Well, now away from looking, I think, at the bigger picture, that is the youth in leadership, I would want us to zone in on you.
Right.
Why the MCA position? Why not MP? Why not any other legislative position? Why are you specifically running for the MCA?
Yes, I'm running for the MCA Thika Township ward, because I believe that it is always good to start from somewhere. If you look at the other positions, actually there are some positions that I am unqualified to hold. For example, I'm not qualified to run for a president. There is a certain age, I think from 35 years, that you are now okay to run for the presidency. Now, the MCA, why I decided to run for the MCA, I've been on the ground and I've seen the challenges that our people are experiencing there. And having held previous positions, even from the time I was schooling in primary, in secondary, and in college, I realized that it is always good to serve others, and when you are a leader, you just see the challenges that your people are facing, and you can't just sit there and watch. You have to rise up and see ways of improving the lives of your people. When I'm campaigning there, I interact with people. Personally, I'm a medic, I'm a public health officer, and I'm a clinical officer as well. So when I'm going through interacting with my people on daily basis, I see the challenges that our people have. From food, there are some areas in Thika Township ward that even getting food, even schooling, it's a challenge. So there are others who, even when you are interacting with them, and maybe they have some challenges, some medical conditions, and they need medication, they are not able to get the medication. That actually otherwise prefer just to stay at home and wait for God to heal them. I think those are some of the challenges that I saw, and I was moved, and I had to do something, and I realized that yes, of course we are doing something, I'm doing something there, but I believe that I can do better when given an opportunity whereby I'm able to even make better decisions that can be beneficial to our people. So that is why I decided to start from the MCA, and with time we climb that ladder, maybe we go for another position in future. But we are not only limited to MCA, it's only that there is always a place where one begins from.
Now, do you believe that in that position, if you do clinch the position of MCA for Thika Township Ward, do you think that you will have enough sway to solve some of these issues? I mean, the issues such as the people who do not have food, or the people who are incapable of affording healthcare.
Yes.
Those are some severe issues for us to be facing citizens of the country.
True.
Do you think that in your position as an MCA, you will be able to have an impact in the finding of solutions to such issues?
True. I really feel that I will be having a very vital role to play, and I will be very impactful in improving the lives of our people. Remember, the three roles of the member of county assembly is to represent, to legislate, and to oversight. Now, you realize that this is not the normal councillors that we had. These are MCAs. These are members of a county assembly who are overseeing a very huge budget to a tune of Kiambu gets of almost 10 billion, over 10 billion, around 10 billion, because it's a very diverse, it's a very vast county with the 12 sub-counties. So you can imagine that you are one of the people who are making decisions on where resources will be channeled. You are the one who is passing on how much will be passed to, how much will be spent on health, how much will be spent on education, how much will be spent on roads, and therefore you are playing a very critical role. And I believe that I can come up with the legislation that is going to impact our people. I can come up with the legislation, and I can follow up that to ensure that whatever we have budgeted for health, it is actually reaching our people. That if we have allocated this amount to go to health, to purchase, to pay medics, and to purchase the medications and other commodities that are needed to ensure that our people get the best health care, that amount is reaching our facilities. It is reaching the health centers. It is reaching the dispensaries there. Therefore, you come up with the legislation. You come out. You question the budget that is there. You show them the need for them to allocate enough resources to health, enough resources to agriculture, because Kiambu also is an area that has the potential to produce has the potential actually even to feed the whole of the county. Therefore, you need to come up with a legislation that favors agriculture. There are some areas in Thika Township that have that capability to bring some food on the basket. Therefore, we need to come up with a legislation that focuses on the needs of our people. That is health, that is education. You need to come up with bursaries that are very helpful, because you can imagine if this person is not even affording food, how will they even afford their school fees? It's a challenge. You are in that position where you can make those efforts, those deliberate efforts, and you have the power now, once I'm elected as an MCA, that I can come up with the legislation that focuses on our people. And again, Thika is a ward that is very has economic vibrancy. Very many people are involved in business activities. Therefore, you need to come up with the legislation that favors the business people, so that they are able to grow our economy. That you are coming up with laws that are okay with them, that the taxes are okay, they are comfortable paying the taxes, so that we even encourage more people to come to business, so that they are able to, because the laws that are there are favorable to them, and they feel that they are not punitive. Actually, they will even encourage more people to come and start businesses. You give that environment where everyone has a potential to grow our ward.
Now, other than your qualification as a public health officer and as a clinical officer, what other qualifications do you have that put you in a better position to serve the residents of Thika Township Ward than your opponents?
Well, I have other qualifications. Like I told you previously, I used to serve. I served my colleagues in my colleagues in college. I was the Secretary General, a very senior position in Kenya Medical Training College, the student body. So I was exposed. I know how to source resources. I know how to source resources. I know how to engage other leaders, because you see, leadership is about engaging others and creating opportunity for other people. Therefore, that person who can come up with ideas that can be helpful to our people. I am in a better position because, one, I have the knowledge, I have the skill, and I have the attitude to serve our people. Remember, in this election, we need a person who is committed, who has been on the ground, somebody who is willing to serve others, and someone who is driven by that one goal of serving others. Because when you serve others, you also you improve your life. Actually, you improve the lives of those people you are serving, and they are. I know you can serve people, and people will appreciate what you are doing, and they will even give you that opportunity to even grow yourself, because you have decided to serve them. So I believe I'm the best person to take Thika Township Ward to the next level, because I am focused, I have the skill, and I have the knowledge, and I have the attitude, I have the qualifications needed to come up with good legislation, to come up to do oversight, because an MCA is a person who is supposed to oversight that the counties, the amount that the county is collecting and the allocation that is coming from the national government, that this amount is used in the best way to improve the lives of our people. Therefore, I am that person who is ready to serve the Township Ward and take it to the next level.
And now, venturing into a bit of party politics, because UDA has been making inroads in the Mount Kenya region, and the president is adamant that he will revive the Jubilee Party in the Mount Kenya region. So why did you decide, you know what, I'll not go with UDA, I'll not go with Jubilee, and I will settle for Sabina?
Yes, I decided to vibe under a different party because, number one, I was also in the race in 2017, and I participated in Jubilee primaries, and I can tell you, I was not even told the number of votes that I had. I decided to go as an independent candidate up to the ballot, and at least there I knew the votes that I had, with the challenges that I had campaigning, but I went to the ballot, and every vote that was casted in my favor, it was able to reflect there. With the big parties, the challenge is that I believe that, and I know the big parties do not have the capacity to conduct free and fair nominations, and there are reasons for that. And sometimes I will not even blame the parties for them not conducting the free and fair nominations, because why? It is very expensive to conduct free and fair nominations. It is very expensive, even from the parties, and that is why you are seeing even some parties are okay with candidates coming to a consensus and agreeing on a certain candidate, because actually the parties do not want to conduct, because we know the outcomes of nominations, they are not always okay. But you know, with the election on 9th, the IBC has the necessary resources. It has that mandate to conduct elections. And again, even when it comes to voter turnout, because our people have a lot of challenges, do not come out to vote during nominations. So as a candidate, you have now to come up with ways of making sure that they go to vote. But with this general election, the turnout is over almost 80%. But with the nominations, our people have a lot of challenges such that they cannot even waste their day coming to nominations. And those one who will come for nominations, they must have been triggered with something to come for the nominations. Therefore, I decided, now that we have very many parties, and when you look at all these parties, all these parties, their agenda is almost the same. All of them will talk about health, they will talk about youth unemployment, they will talk about ensuring social protection. But you see what I say with the parties, it is just like a vehicle. The way when you are maybe you are in Thika and you want to commute to Murang'a or Nairobi, you can use any vehicle to take you to Nairobi. By the way, I can tell you why the president was not even focusing with the Jubilee Party. This is when he is now focusing with the Jubilee Party. You know why? It is because this is like a vehicle. You use this vehicle from Thika to Nairobi. When you are in Nairobi, you go there and do your business. You don't care now about the vehicle that brought you there. You now have a mandate. If you work in Nairobi, you work there. And then in the evening, if you are coming back, you have to look for another vehicle. You know, a party is a vehicle to take you to serve people. When you are there, can you serve your people? And then later you come in and you take a vehicle to take you to that position again. Because parties do not work. It is individuals who work. And that is why I have no problem with even the president not concentrating with making sure that Jubilee is vibrant. No, this is the time we make it vibrant. It's okay. And that is why we have very many parties. We have very many parties that are there. I didn't see any reason why you should even compete with all of us competing with UDA. Let us meet there on the ballot. The parties are the same. It is an individual who works, not a party. And you know why I decided to come up with a unique, not go with the popular parties, because our people in Thika, they are known. They do not elect you because simply you are in a party. If they want you to elect you, they will elect you whether you are an independent candidate or with a party. Our current MP, Honorable, our current MP who is serving, he was elected on an independent ticket. He didn't have any party. Why? Because our people, when they go to the ballot, they know what they want. They will not elect you simply because you are in UDA or you are in Jubilee or you are in whichever party. They will look at an individual and they are going to elect you. And that is why I know, even if I was an independent candidate or with this party or whichever party, I can win that election, and we are going to win together, and we take the Township ward to the next level. Because our democracy is also growing. Our democracy is growing. Our people have realized that it is not parties who work, it is individuals who work.
Now, my director notifies me that my other guest has just arrived. But before we usher him in so that we can take a look at what is happening politically at a national scale, kindly just give your final submissions to the camera.
Yes, my final submission is that, dear Kenyans, as we head to the elections, let us ensure that we have the best people who can serve us. Let us not be carried away with the party waves. Parties do not work. It is individuals who work. To the great people of Thika Township Ward, I am asking for your vote. Kawanjiko is going to deliver. I am going to represent you very well, and I am going to ensure that I play my role as an MCA, that is oversight, legislation and representation, and I assure you that I am going to do my best to make sure that we take Thika Township Ward to the next level. The issue of bursaries, the issue of health, the issue of our business people, the issue of the elderly, the issue of the disabled, the issue of the marginalized, I am going to ensure that we take Thika Township Ward to the next level. And to my fellow youth, give me this opportunity. To the senior citizens in Thika Township Board, give me this opportunity. I have the knowledge, the skills, the attitude to take Thika Township Board to the next level. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.